Hi everyone, this is John at Hookers Fishing Lake in Pattaya. Hope you're all doing well. Purpose of this video is to give people an idea of what to expect when they come here to Hookers for the first time. We get a lot of FAQs from people who want to know, how does this work? Do we have that? What do they need to do? What do they need to bring? So the idea with this video is to give you a brief overview of what you can expect to find when you arrive here, so that when you come you feel comfortable, and maybe encourage some people who have never fished before or have done maybe a little bit of fishing to get over any inhibitions they might have, and give them a better understanding of what's involved and what you get for your money when you come here for a day's fishing at Hookers. With the current COVID restrictions, we also wanted to give you an idea of what to expect when you come here, because we are operating under certain restrictions in terms of the numbers of people that we can host here at the lake, and just general common sense COVID guidelines that everyone will be more than well aware of at the moment. So when you first come in from the car park, everyone will need to be wearing a mask when they come here. But the first thing you'll need to do, come up, get your temperature scanned, and then we'll need you to give your hands a good wash with the gel that's provided here. Once that's done, one of our staff, probably me, will meet you just here in the lobby restaurant area. Now, under the current restrictions, we can't have people congregating in this area. This is really just being used as a meeting point. Under normal circumstances, this operates as a nice restaurant for us and a nice shady area for any guests that people might bring with them to relax. Under the current restrictions, we're unable to do that. So literally, once you have done your check-in with COVID and your temperature and washing your hands, we'll walk you around to your swim. People are asking us whether we're allowed to still carry out offering food and drink under the current restrictions. The short answer is yes, we are. However, as I've already mentioned, we're unable to serve people inside the clubhouse here, but the restaurant and the cook and soft drinks are available to order from the kitchen here. And what will happen is we will then deliver those to you in the swim. That is the only way we are allowed to do it. Unfortunately, we're unable to use proper crockery, cutlery. Everything is served in proper takeaway containers as per the guidelines that we've been issued and told to follow, and that's what we will do. So bottom line, you can still get food here. We've got a pretty decent menu, and we've got a wide range of soft drinks. We'll fill up a cool box with some ice and all the drinks that you want, and we'll just keep bringing those over to you in your swim where you're fishing all day. And anything you want, we'll show you. Basically, you can just speak to the guides in the swim where you're fishing. They'll radio the order to the kitchen here, and then we'll walk around and deliver that to you. So as we mentioned earlier, we've got restrictions on the numbers of people we can have here fishing. So at the moment, we can handle a maximum of 2 people fishing, and that's because we need at least 3 guides with you for a maximum of 5, which meets the restrictions that are currently placed on the gatherings of people here. So we can manage 2 people fishing at a time with the 3 guides. So once we've got you walked round to where you're going to be fishing, now for those of you who don't know too much about fishing itself, the place where you are fishing commonly referred to as a swim. All that means is that that's just the place where you're going to be fishing. And around the lake here, we've got 12 swims, so 12 permanent places that are set up for where people can swim. And we will normally choose a place for the customer to fish depending on who's been fishing the previous days, what the catch rates have been like, and where we've seen any sort of fish activity. So you're free to look on the website. On the website, we've got a very good lake map that's interactive. You can click on each of the swims and it brings up a little pop-up photo of each swim to show you, with a depth map as well. So all the contours on the lake are on that lake map. You can, if you want to, say to us, I want to fish this swim number, and we'll certainly accommodate you with that. So if you're coming here on your own, fishing on your own, we can set you up in an individual swim. If there's two of you fishing together and you want to fish in the same swim, we've got a couple of double swims. As you can see behind here, swim number 5, we can accommodate 2 people fishing together in the same swim with your rods and all your equipment. Just let us know what you'd prefer to do, how you'd like us to set you up, and we'll do that for you. So here we are. This would be a typical setup that you could expect to see here at Hookers. We have these Bivvy tents. Again, fishing terminology, they're called a bivvy. To most people, they would probably say, oh, it's a tent, which is effectively what it is. So you have your bivvy set up for you with 2 comfortable chairs inside. You have a table. Now each of the swims here, all of them have electric points and Wi-Fi. So you are able, here we have the electric points, so you're able to charge your phones, and we're able to put a little fan in there for you as well, just to keep you cool on the hot days. So very, very comfortable. It will keep the sun off, but we'd strongly recommend that you still bring yourself some good quality suntan lotion, because you can still get burnt here very, very easily. A good hat as well would also be required. Maybe a towel if you want to, so that if you do want to jump into a nice cold shower later in the day, you can do so, or at any time during the day for that matter. And this is where your tackle, rods and equipment will all be set up for you. For the price of a day's fishing, you've got all of your bait, tackle and equipment included. Now that involves a minimum of 3 rods. We set 1 predator rod up, which will typically be like this, and we'll set up 2 rods for you, rigged up for the carp, the mekong, the herbivorous species fish that are here. For those people who are maybe slightly more experienced fishermen, you'll see that we have rod pods all provided with bite alarms. So if you are just chilling out in your bivvy and a fish takes your bait, you're going to get an indication of a beep, 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 beep on the bite indicator to know that a fish is there. But the important thing really in all of this is that you're going to have your guides with you all day. So the 2 or 3 guides will be sitting close by, and they're able to do as much or as little as you want them to do, depending on your level of expertise, your level of comfort, what you feel happy doing. You just tell them what you want them to do and they will do it. So it's an important point, I think, especially for people who maybe haven't done that much fishing, or maybe have never fished at all. They're always maybe a little bit scared, a little bit worried. Do they know what they're doing? Do they understand the tackle? That's what the guides are here for. The guides will do as much as or as little as you want. We get a range of people all the way through from complete beginners to very expert fishermen, and the guides can cox and box basically on what you want them to do. If you're happy casting, go ahead. If you want the guides to cast your bait out into the water, put baits on the hook and everything, they'll do that for you. They'll strike the fish for you if that's what you want them to do. So really, people who have very, very limited or no knowledge of fishing can still come here and have a good day and enjoy themselves. And equally the same is true, primarily the guides are here to help with netting the fish. Now, something that applies to everybody that fishes here is you can expect to get wet. If you're going to catch fish, you're going to be in the water. We don't allow any of our fish to be photographed or unhooked outside of the water, with the exception of the alligator gar. So if you are coming here fishing, expect to get wet. Dress appropriately, bring some shorts or some, an old t-shirt or something. You can always jump in the shower later and change at the end of the day. But the guides are here. They will help net the fish. They will take the hooks out of the fish's mouth, and once that's done and we know that the fish is in good condition and it's okay, it's got its power back, they will help you and show you how to hold the fish correctly so that we can get some good photos for you. And for food and drink, as we mentioned earlier, you've got a menu here in the swim, okay? And all you would need to do, just take a look. If you're feeling hungry, feeling thirsty, just say to the guides, I want to order this, I want to order that. They all have walkie-talkies. They'll radio that order over to the restaurant on the far side of the lake, and we will have that delivered to you and you can eat here in your swim. Because of the regulations at the moment, that's the only way we can do it. You can't sit, we can't have people congregating in the clubhouse area or serving food or drink in that area. But away from there, over here in the swims, it's okay. And we'll take a little look at the bait that we provide here. That's all included in the price. So typically what we'll do is we'll provide a loaf of bread, we'll have some flaked up bread, and then a bowl of lum. That gets mixed with water. People that have fished before will know exactly what that's for. People that haven't fished, don't worry, your guide will do everything for you to mix the ground bait, or lum as it's called here, mix it all up for you. And then we have a range of baits, hook baits that we will provide for you, including pellet and boilies. So basically, again, if you've never fished before, or even if you have fished before, you don't need to bring anything with you. Although if you want to, you're free to bring your own special bait if that's what you want to do. Just check with us beforehand that we're okay with it and what you're intending to use and how you're intending to fish it. The other thing that we'll have on hand for fishing for the predators is you'll have an endless supply of mackerel, dead baits, which are used for the predators like the Amazon redtail, the Asian redtail, the arapaima, chow pria, fish like that. So your lum, again, it's an endless supply. There's no restriction on the amount you can use. We'll just keep supplying you. We don't charge any extra. There's no hidden extras in terms of bait or anything to do with the tackle. If you lose a rig or the line gets cut or whatever, we'll just put a new one on and you just carry on fishing. You're not going to be given a bill at the end of the day with various little add-ons and bits and pieces. Similarly with the whole setup, there's no additional charge for setting you up or helping you to get everything in place in your swim. That's all included in the price. Another question that we get asked quite frequently is should I be tipping the guides, and if I do tip the guides, how much should I tip them? Now, tips are not expected. The guides are all paid a salary to work here at Hookers, and the guides don't expect a tip. It's not mandatory, but if people want to give a tip, then they're free to do so. The amount varies. I can't give you a figure and say, well, you know, this is right, this isn't right. Really, we leave it up to the individual customer to decide based on whether they think they've had good service, if they've had a good day's fishing, if they've been looked after and taken care of. It's really down to the customer. Another thing I just forgot to mention is that we have complete Wi-Fi coverage around the lake as well, with a 2.4 and 5G Wi-Fi network. So again, if you're wanting to be in constant touch with friends, wherever they might be in Thailand or abroad, you can be in constant touch with them. The signal covers the whole lake very easily. So when you do get a nice picture of that big fish, you can just mail it off, send it off, whatever you want to do straight away. I think it's also just useful. People might be interested generally to see how we bring the fish in. We don't use nets here like the traditional kind of fishing nets because the fish is just too big now. We've got some smaller species, but they're very rarely caught in any sort of number, so we will always bring them in one of these cages. Obviously the larger cage like this is over 2 meters long. We use to bring in the arapaima, maybe the mekongs, and also the chow pria. We have a smaller version just sitting on the top there specifically for the alligator gar. And then the smaller nets, smaller cages like that, about 1.5 meters long, for bringing in all the other species of fish. So the guides will be in the water while you're playing the fish. You'll have a guide giving you advice on how to play the fish as well, if that's what you need. And we'll get that fish into the cage, give it a bit of oxygen, and hopefully get you in the water for some nice pictures. So just one final thing, to talk about the facilities briefly. So we've got 2 modern clean bathrooms either side of the shower room. Again, a nice modern clean shower. So if during the day you are getting a little bit hot and you just want to get into a cool shower, you're free to do so. Just make sure you bring a towel with you. And similarly, at the end of the day, you don't want to be getting necessarily into your car sort of smelling of fish slime, not nice. So if you do want to shower off, get changed, you can do so at the end of the day. So I hope you've enjoyed that little overview of what you can expect if you're going to come fishing here at Hookers. I hope also that it might give a little bit of confidence to those people who are maybe sitting at home thinking, well, I've never fished before, or I've only done a little bit of fishing. The whole point is that you can come here with whatever level of skill or experience you've got, and we'll take very good care of you and give you all the guidance and support that you need in order to have a good day's fishing. And at the moment, let's face it, there's nothing better than going to be getting out of your apartment or your house and getting into the countryside with a bit of fresh air every day. So please make sure to give us a call first. We need 24 hours booking in advance. All of the information that you need is available on our website, www.hookerspattaya.com. You can get in touch with us with the online inquiry form through the website and also to make bookings, or alternatively you can give us a call on our number that is on our website. It's also on our Facebook page and also on our Instagram page, or you can email us. Many ways to get in touch. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope it will encourage some people to come along here and fish, and thank you very much for watching.